Ladies and gentlemen, yo, 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 yo. So, two for the price of one. Let's see. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming back. It's late in the early hours of the morning, but we got to keep going. And we've got another stunning guest that is going to rock you. I'm telling you now, I don't know how I met these people, but I'm blessed to meet these people. Guys, it's really true. Your net worth is your net worth. Because I feel gangster. I feel super rich just because I know people who are so highly skilled, and I don't even know why I know them. I just must be God's grace. It has to be God's grace because there's no other explanation. There's really no other explanation. I don't deserve to know these people. These people are really incredible in their own right. And Karabo, hey, let me tell you, this girl, I didn't even know why she started speaking to me. I mean, I started speaking to her because she was really attractive and, more importantly, super intelligent. And I don't know, it was kind of a risk. I think the first time I saw her, she was either performing or set up the stage to perform at the university, and it was a smash. It was incredible. And then I heard her speak about the process and just speak about theater, and I was like, yo, this chick is hectic. Like, she knows what she's talking about, but she's so articulate too, and she's using that Oxford English. So I was like, you know what, if I die, at least I tried. So over the years, I actually learned that she was into design, designing sets, whether they were for theater, and I also think television as well as film. Will confirm. And I remember she was working at SAMRO, which is a South African music or copyrights organization, something along those lines, because I needed to submit my beats. Back then I was making music, and I bumped into her at those offices. But I wasn't surprised that she was working at such a high end, corporate job. And we actually discussed business. So guys, she's actually business minded, and she had some really interesting insights to the pitch that I had for, I tried to pitch her Amway. So guys, no, I didn't try to picture Amway. I tried to picture Vima when Vima was still not a scam, and she liked the concept, and luckily she didn't actually buy into because Vima actually ended up closing down. But she was pushing real estate on the side, which was really amazing. It was remarkable. So guys, she's a business-minded woman, but she's also deep in the game. Like, her passion, you're gonna see her level of passion is unmatched. And so I don't know why she actually kept speaking, because my status was low. Like, she's high status, guys. She is, I would say, humble because she spoke with me, but she's really high status in the grand scheme of things. And that's one thing I appreciate about her, because normally you find people who are high status and don't really want to deal with guys who don't really have the issues together, guys who don't really have it all together. So I'm sending her the link, and let's see. Please, I'm saying please hop on the link. So I'm not too sure what she's doing now. I actually contacted her last year while I was in Thailand, and I think I wanted her to help me with something regarding Samro, something to do with music. I don't know. Maybe I needed a contact or something. I can't really remember the deal. But then she told me she wasn't actually working there anymore. And guys, I'm really lucky because uh, she actually pulled some strings to actually come onto the show because she, kind of slipped her mind, and she asked me to come on an hour later, but I got to work tomorrow morning, and then I got to do rehearsals on top of that, and I still haven't learned those lines. Hey guys, I'm going to be in a theater production. I can't believe it. These guys roped me in. They wanted me to audition. Well, there was an audition broadcast on Facebook, and I thought, let's try it out. And so when I went to the audition, when I went to the theater, they have a little theater for the kids because they're actually an education facility, but they have a theater stage for the kids. And I auditioned there with the guy, and he asked me to play the role of the main guy who is a little frail, a little insecure, because he owes the big boss a lot of money. And so the big boss comes and he wants his money back, and he can't give him the money back. And so he's like, okay, yeah, you played that well. Okay, not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay, now you play the big boss. And I played the big boss, and the guy was like, whoa. He couldn't believe how well the performance went. So I'm looking forward, guys. And guys, I think we have Karabo. We have. Hey, what's up, Karabo?
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm just, there's like a light.
Okay. Hey, wow, you're looking
Man.
amazing.
Thank you.
Gee.
Snap. I don't know what to do with the slides. Huh? Okay.
It's not like a train smash.
Can't you see that light,
I see that glare. It's like a bit
the
of a.
glare piercing through? That's a bit better.
Yeah, that's much better actually.
Awesome.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good, Chris. How are you?
I'm great. Jeez, Karabo, you look amazing.
I try. Thank
That's
you.
what's
You
up.
also look good. You also look good.
Thank you, thank you. Did you
Cool.
just come from work or something?
Yeah, I did.
Okay, nice, nice. How was your day?
It was cool. It was long. And then I forgot about this. Otherwise, I would have come home earlier. But it's all good. It's all good. I'm glad we're doing it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate you coming through. I haven't seen you in a long time. I haven't heard from you in a long time. Like I think the
Yeah, get
last
away now. You
time,
disappeared.
Ish, I had to. It was one of those things. But
It's
I
cool.
think
You're
last
doing
time,
good.
thank you very much. I
Mm.
appreciate it. I think last time we spoke, or last time I saw you, you were working at Samro, but I think
Yeah.
that's not the case anymore.
No, I work at UJ now.
Oh, nice.
I'm the operations manager and producer of the arts and culture department.
Wow. Okay, so you're working at the university that side.
Yeah.
Okay, wow, geez, Garabo, that's amazing. How does it feel?
It's great, hey? I mean, I produce shows. It's really more support staff and creative work than academic work, which is right up my alley. I'm loving it. I don't want to lie.
That sounds like quite a leadership position. I don't know. Am I?
Yeah, no, it is a senior management position. And producing Vele, you kind of just have to run productions and run things. Chris, I'm with three small children who might occasionally make noise. I hope you don't mind.
No, no problem, no problem. I deal with children all day long. So
Yes, you do.
no problem, no problem. Okay. These children, are they your kids?
Yes.
Oh wow, you have three kids.
Yeah, well, the two are my partner's children, and then I have one kid, but like they're all my kids.
Ah, I got you, I got you. Jeez, you look really young and really attractive
That's
for a
because
mom.
I am really young.
No, but I'm saying for a mom, like moms don't normally look like they just came out of university.
What are you trying to say, Chris?
I'm saying normally moms
Are
don't
you
look
hating
like.
on moms?
No, I'm not hating on moms. I'm just saying normally, like in terms of like the average, they're not looking like the way you're looking. Is I don't know what's your secret.
Thank you. It's genes.
Uh huh. Jeans, we can't pay for those.
No.
Wait, wait. What's your latest production that you've been producing?
Um, I am working on a dance festival. I'm producing a dance festival right now, which is opening in the next 2 weeks. So not next week, the week after. And we've got various like people performing in that dance production, various companies as also moving into dance. Mopatong is doing a piece. Joburg Ballet is doing a piece. We have two independent dancers, Smangaliso Ngwenya and Tami Chabalala, who are also presenting pieces. We've also got like a range of workshops, dance classes, facilitated discussions. Kind of, it's going to be quite a jam-packed week. The festival is called Joburg Moves.
Oh wow. Okay. Gee, that sounds exciting.
It is. It's and we're also launching it for the first time. So it's exciting, but it's also very scary. But so far so good.
Okay. Okay. Wow. And have you launched like any dance productions before?
No, so I'm also producing a video mapping project that was supposed to be launched at this dance festival, but we had a few kind of challenges with like set and a few components that were running late. So we've moved it out. I do produce dance shows, but it's the first time I'm producing a whole festival. Obviously produced under UJ.
Okay. Wow. Jeez. So and how long is this festival running for?
It's for a week. So it opens on the 23rd of April up until the 26th of
Okay.
April.
Okay.
It's just for a week. It's just a small festival. We're just kind of trying it out, and then hopefully next year, like once we're done with this, we'll fundraise, and hopefully next year we'll have funding for it, and then we can stretch it out, like make it a 2-week festival.
Ah, I see.
Yeah.
So what is this like coming out of your guys' pockets as a
Yes. So
company?
we are funding the project. I mean, it's a partnership with the dance companies and the dancers. We're doing a door split where they take the lion's share, like 80% of the door split. But we obviously covering the theater, all the technical costs, the equipment, front of house staff, and all the front of house costs. So we're taking care of everything else. And then they're obviously bringing the the creative pieces.
Mm, wow. Okay, I think the first time I saw like a dance festival was the Dance Umbrella. I don't know if you remember that.
Yes, I remember Dance Umbrella. So, because Dance Umbrella is open, part of the reason why we decided to do a dance festival is because we just felt like there's a huge gap, especially in Gauteng, for platforms for dance, since Dance Umbrella hasn't happened in a few years. And yeah, we just kind of realized that there's a gap, and we wanted to create a platform or a space where we could present dance shows, but also like dance classes, discussions about dance. Yeah.
Okay, okay. That's so cool. I never thought I would actually like dance until I saw the Dance Umbrella, and I actually really enjoyed it. It was like a new world for me.
It's really nice because, I mean, we are trained and used to theater, but Dance is kind of light, you know what I mean? You don't, there's no
Yeah.
words, there's not too much that you have to interpret. It's kind of not that deep, but it is very deep. The thing
Yes.
is, I think what I love about being an audience of dance is you have to feel more than everything. There's not a lot, you can't try and understand it. It's hardly ever a linear story. So you're forced to kind of reach within yourself and like feel, you know what I mean, and just like experience the thing. It's nice. It's like a it's a break, you know, because theater, I love theater, I produce theater, but it can be heavy, you know what I mean, and like following a story, and it can be,
Mm.
you know, it can like really get you emotionally. But with dance it's a little bit different. I mean, it is a story that has to be followed. It does get you emotionally, but you kind of consume it in a different way.
That's so true. I remember, you actually reminded me of this one that I saw. It actually took place outside the theater, downstairs where we had the. Do you remember where everything was being made? Like Rob used to work
The
there.
workshop.
The workshop, yes, it was
Mhm.
outside the workshop in the parking lot.
Yes,
And
yes.
this guy he had a soccer ball, and he had a partner, and they were doing like this incredible, uh, perhaps site specific production. Are
Okay.
you guys going to hone in on anything like site specific outside of the theater, maybe?
No, so because it's kind of like the first dance festival that we're doing, we're going to try and keep it as traditional as possible and kind of stick to inside the theater. We're trying to be safe for this time around, but I feel
Mm.
like as we go, and as the festival grows, we'll have space to kind of explore other things and just like stretch ourselves creatively. But for now, we're just keeping it safe and conventional, so that we can learn and like kind of get the formula right. And once we've gotten the formula right, then we can switch it up a little bit.
Ah, okay, okay, that sounds reasonable. And your because I remember you were involved in correct me if I'm wrong, you were involved in set making and design.
Yeah, I'm a set designer.
Yeah, set designer, and you were killing it. Like, I remember you just came through. Your passion was really heavy.
Thank you. Thank
Yeah,
you.
i, I,
I'm
I
still
always
doing it
remember it.
now. I actually got an award earlier this year. So I'm an
What?
award-winning set designer now.
Oh, that's amazing.
I know, and I
Congratulations.
currently have a nomination also, for the Naledi Awards for Best Set Design. The awards are happening on the 20th of May. So,
Woohoo! Hey, listen, I'm not surprised if you take it seriously. You know,
thank you,
they,
Chris.
they like there was a time I think where you had. Hmm, I just remember I have this vision, this memory where I think you had like a model of
Yeah,
your set. It was like something that you could hold, and it was like
yeah.
the actual set design. Do you still kind of do work in that kind of frame where you like you can actually see the set, and then before it becomes blown up?
Yeah, I do. I do still work like that. I mean, look, there's a lot of ways that designers work, and now people kind of digitally draw these things, but I prefer model building and kind of the traditional way of building, of designing. It's fun, it's interactive. It's also, you know, when I'm presenting to directors, it's like tangible pieces of things that they can hold, so they can, you know, move this. Like, I don't want this wall here, I want it here. So it's like moving
Mm.
pieces. And it's also a really great guide because sometimes, especially if I'm working on multiple productions at the same time, I'm not able to be there while they're building the set and while they like doing everything. So it helps to leave a model there, because whoever I leave there, whether it's set builders or set coordinators, they've got a guide in terms of what it is that they're doing and what it needs to look like. And the models are to scale, so they can even measure on the models if they're not sure about measurements. Yeah.
Wow, that's really cool. That's really really cool. I mean, it's quite creative and I think inventive, and yeah, that's really cool. So for the set that you designed, where you've won an award, what was that? Tell me, what's that story about?
So it was a play called Who Left the Fridge Open. It was happening at the State Theatre last year, October. And essentially, it was the story of a tenderpreneur. It was a comedy. It was hilarious. Um, it was about the family's surname was Dinkunyana. So it was the Dinkunyana family, and the father was like a tenderpreneur. And, they had a lot of money. And he also did, he also kind of, what do you call that? He did stocks, and in the story, he kind of loses some of his clients. And it was really more of a comment on kind of the politics in South Africa and the political systems that we've got here and the different political parties and all of that drama. Yeah, it was a really great production that was at the State Theatre. It was really, really fun to make. I worked with a very young director named Butelo, and it was really fun working with him. He challenged me quite a lot, and in a good way, and pushed me to kind of do the best that I could. Yeah, and it was very light piece. It was funny, but also the issues that it was tackling were very serious. So a
Okay,
satire.
I see. And so, what was your set like? Like, what did what did you make?
So it was a kitchen. If you want, I can send you pictures as well.
That
It
would be
was
great.
it was basically the story is set in their house, and the set was essentially downstage. We had like a living room, so couches, and a coffee table with a rug. It was really quite pretty. And then upstage we had a kitchen, with like nice sparkling tiles, quite a big kitchen and a full kitchen, right? So fridge, sink, cupboards, fully kitted
Gee,
kitchen. And then next to the kitchen upstage was an office, this guy's office, where he does all of his work. And all of these rooms are also on different levels. I like playing with levels when I design my sets. I don't necessarily like things that are flat. So each room was like on a different level as well.
wow, this stage must have been big.
It was quite a big stage. It was at the Sibusiso Quinana Theatre, at the
Okay,
State Theatre. So it was quite a big stage. I actually, when I designed the piece, I cut the stage in half. Like I didn't even use the whole stage because it was huge.
jeez. Okay, so this is like a pretty realism piece. I mean, just in terms of set design.
More a satirical piece, but yes, the style of the design was realist.
Okay, all right. And the one that you are getting uh, nominated for, is that like also a realism piece, or what's that about?
So that the piece is called Macabre. I produced it last year under UJ Arts and Culture, and it was a site-specific piece, so we didn't do it in the theater. It was set in a house, and it was basically about a woman who is a murderer, and
Okay.
she basically steals a baby, and then the baby's real grandfather comes around looking for the baby. In fact, for her to, there was a lady who found the baby, and then she murders the lady who found the baby so she can keep the baby. And then the grandfather comes, and eventually she kills him as well. It was set in the kitchen of a house in Auckland Park, not far from our campus. It was an immersive experience. So within my design, I tried to like kind of touch on all the five senses. So seeing, hearing, obviously, but then smell, the sense of smell. So we were baking muffins during the time of the production. In fact, during the story, when this guy comes, she's baking. So she bakes muffins during the course of the piece. And then yeah, there were a lot of things. There was a holding room for people to wait before they go into the kitchen. And in the holding room, I'd get an actor to smoke a cigarette just before the it was like a gambling room in this holding room. So we had cigarette smoke that was burnt there. So just to like kind of stimulate the audience's other senses, for it to be an immersive and full on experience as opposed to just being a theater. And also the audience sat on the stage. Do you know what I mean? They were part of the action. They
Mm.
also had activities during the show. So this woman was making sandwiches. They had to butter bread. She was also baking like muffins. So somebody had to like mix the muffins for her as she was mixing the stuff. So there was a lot of interaction with the audience.
Wow, this is amazing. Jeez.
Yeah, yeah, it was very fun, very fun. Every show was different because obviously every audience is different. So some people were like loose and it was funny and giggly. Some people were a little bit more serious. So every night it was interesting watching the show because every night was different because of the audience
Hmm.
members.
Wow. And how long was this piece running for?
It ran for about a week, and it was sold out.
Wow.
It was sold out before we even opened the piece. But also, it was a very exclusive experience. We only could accommodate, I think, 17 or 18 audience members, so it wasn't a lot. And also, it came in at a great week. I think part of the reason why it sold out is because on the Monday before we opened on the Tuesday, we won. We were nominated for 14 Naledi Awards for another musical that we produced the year before. And we won about 8 awards, including the Best Production Award. So I think that boosted it a lot. After we won the Best Production, and then people kind of heard we're doing a piece, within a day, the tickets were sold out for the
Oh
whole
wow.
run. We actually extended it. It was for a week. And then because we had so many people asking, we extended it into the next week.
Hmm. Gee, okay, that's really cool. I wish, I mean, I really miss site specific, uh, productions. They're very special. Um, I, I never knew such thing existed until, I actually studied. And that's really, really cool. It seems like this one was like, deep into your senses, the audience. I think this is one they'll probably never forget.
Hopefully, we'll see. We'll see.
And the
The
house,
plan
the
is to
house,
make more of that type of production.
yeah, yeah, that's really cool. The house, like, is this a house of someone who works at the academy or someone who works at?
So it's a house that belongs to the university. The University of Johannesburg has different properties. So it's almost like reses, different properties for
Oh,
postgraduate students to live in, mostly for postgraduate students to live in, but also for like lecturers and like professors and whatnot. So it was a house that was not occupied at the time. And yeah, we just spoke to the relevant department in the university to get them to let us use the house. It was empty and not used at the time.
okay. And once again, did you have like, your portable set before, or did you not need it?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Like did you have your model set before?
So with this one, I didn't necessarily have a model. We redid it in Joburg last year, but the year before last, we did it in the Free State. And I had a presentation with like references and like images of like the kind of things that I wanted to do. But it was a little bit more difficult to do a model because it's not a conventional theater. It's
Mm,
kind of set in a house. So I didn't do the model approach. Sometimes I will do drawings and then do presentations, get references, like get images of the types of furnitures that I want to use and whatnot, and present that.
oh, okay, okay. And I'm sure you're familiar with the rise of AI and all these large language models and even image generators. Is that something that you ever leverage or use or play with?
I mean, as a designer, not really, but this is the year where I plan on exploring. Do you know what I mean? How AI can
Okay.
assist me with my designs, because I'm sure there's ways in which I can build models like digitally, but also like maybe 3D print some of the models because at the university we've got like access to these things. So when
Oh
I get
wow.
time, I do want to kind of explore and just expand my knowledge in terms of how I can design. But from a producing point of view, I mean, we're doing a video mapping project right now, and we're trying to dabble as much as we can into technology and AI to present innovative, cutting edge shows.
Yeah, I think it's it's definitely important. Personally, I've been playing around and having a lot of fun with it. Sometimes it gets a little bit addictive, but
Yeah.
you might wanna look into Playground AI. Playground is like very fun, very you have a lot of different options to just be expressive. You might enjoy it.
Okay, Playground AI. I'll check
Yeah,
it out.
yeah. And like I wanted to ask, so I mean, you seem like you very diverse. You producing, but you also, still making sets. Isn't that like a little bit taxing? Like, how do you mentally cope with, such a
It
wide?
is very taxing because I mean, the producing job is my 9 to 5. So I do that every day, all the
Okay.
time. And then I only kind of freelance on set design things when I have time within my producing schedule. So now, for example, I've got a dance festival happening in 2 weeks. There was no way I was going to take on something. But what I've started to do is also started to design some of the things that I am producing. So it's much easier because I can plan adequately, you know what I mean, around the things that I want to do. But it is very taxing, it's very exhausting. It means working late, it means working on weekends, it means time away from like home, time away from my kids. But it's sometimes a sacrifice that we have to make, not only to pay the bills, but also just to grow and expand as artists. Because as much as I love producing, producing is very administrative, and I just feel like if I don't make art, like creative art,
Mm,
I'd just be incomplete as a person. So being able to do the design stuff balances me out because it's like I kind of get an opportunity to get my hands dirty.
yeah.
Whereas producing is very much behind the computer and on the phone, you know what I mean, coordinating people and bringing people together. Whereas design, I get to paint, I get to draw, I get to explore, you know.
I got you. I got you. Yeah, I've always seen you like very much deep into the creative part of theater making. And so it's good to see that because you have to satisfy the reality of, having to pay bills and all of those things. And it's good to see that you're still actually making time for your passion. And
I have to. I think I'd be depressed or something. I just I wouldn't be happy if I couldn't make art.
do you think some people go through that where they end up actually becoming very deep into the 9 to 5 because they have to, but to an extent where, they look back and it's been a few years since they made, you know, what they really love in terms of whether it's producing, whether it's writing or any other part. Have you experienced like some people who've just given up on their passion just because they don't have the time or energy?
Yeah, I think it's a tough one, you know, because it's about prioritizing. It's all good and well for me to want to be a creative artist, and to do my passion and to do what I love. But if it's not going to pay the bills, then it's not practical. I mean, I love producing, don't get me wrong, but I really love designing. But like there's no way that I would survive as a designer only. The design gigs that I get are very few and far between. And it's not enough. Do you know what I mean? To like sustain my life and to pay all my bills and whatnot. And I just like I'm very lucky because I can balance it out. You know, I can create opportunities for me to design so that I can scratch that itch. But like it's really a privilege. A lot of people don't have that privilege. A lot of people have like serious responsibilities, and it's not that kind of party where they can kind of follow their passions and do what they want to do, you know. It's very hard, and it's really sad for the most part because I feel like many times we lose incredibly creative and incredibly talented people to work and like other industries, but I completely understand and respect why.
Yeah, and then that's actually very true. I've seen that too. And on the other end of the continent, I've seen people who are highly talented and just end up just focusing on their passion and just are kind of like rebels to the whole 9 to 5 system where, and then they become the struggling artist where you know they don't have many people attending their production, but they're highly skilled and highly qualified. They don't really have the funding, And then just for like years and years, they end up just sort of like doing what they love, but they struggle. Like, what made you decide not to go that route? Because I think there's a choice, and you didn't choose that route. I think you could have, but you didn't.
I don't believe in struggling.
Thank you.
I don't. Otherwise, I would have decided to be a full-time production designer and like risk it, but I don't. I don't believe in struggling. And also, this is for me, right? I'm not saying people who choose to follow their passions are not smart or whatnot. I'm talking about me personally. I don't believe in struggling. And I've been really, really, really lucky in my career, Chris, because after I finished university, I got an internship at Business and Arts South Africa. And I mean, I studied arts management and set design. And I already got an arts management job my first year out of varsity, and I've just kind of continued from there doing arts management. So it was at Business and Arts South Africa. Then I moved to Arts and Culture Trust. Then I moved to Samro Foundation. And then now I'm here at UJ. Do you know what I mean? So I've been really, really blessed to kind of not have gaps. You know what I mean? Where there would be a struggle, but I don't. I'm also a little bit of a control freak. So the thought of like not having a fixed income or knowing what's going to come in is really, really scary for me.
Mm,
And I have great respect for like freelancers and for people who chose their passions. Do you know what I mean? And are following that through, because like some of the hardest workers that I know are freelancers. Do you know what I mean? Because
yeah.
it's people who are juggling various things at the same time, people who are working 12 to 18-hour days to kind of, do you know what I mean, make the art and like follow their dreams and to follow their passions. But it's a personally it's a daunting thought for me, and it's really, really scary. I'm a little bit obsessed with like kind of stability and knowing what's next. And I've been lucky enough to get opportunities to make sure that that stays in line.
Okay. All right. No, that's. I mean, that makes sense. That makes sense. I think that's the reasonable approach. I think it's the right approach. I don't think we have to struggle. And what about film? Were you ever dabbling into film and television?
Yeah, look, I do occasionally produce films. The last film, this video mapping project that I'm doing right
Okay.
now, we had to shoot all of the content for what's going to be on screen. But in 2021, 2022, I produced a feature film.
Oh,
I'll produce film, but I don't prefer it, because
okay.
another thing is I don't believe in working that hard. Like, it's hectic. And I just feel like when I was much younger, I kind of had the tenacity and the energy to do it. But now, it's hectic. I have immense respect for filmmakers, because the amount of work that goes into creating TV and film is wow. And that's why I dabble in it and I choose when I want to do it and when not, because I'm very aware of how much work it takes, how many hours, and also the stakes are very high. Usually on a film production, the budgets are much bigger than theater productions. So it's just like, from a producing point of view, it's a lot of pressure. It's a whole lot more money to get together, and a whole lot more money to spend and to report on. Um, but when I do it, and also I find it very hard. It's very difficult to produce films. And I don't know, maybe I'm a little bit spoiled, but I don't, in my 20s, I like loved it and I thrived. But after having a kid and like getting into my 30s now, I don't want to work that hard, like
That's true.
do you know what I mean? And I'm pretty sure, because a lot of people are like, yo, if you produce films, you'd make so much more money. I'd probably be getting paid double, if not triple, what getting paid now as a theater producer. But I love theater, and sometimes it's not always about money. You know what I mean?
Mm,
I can like do that and like get three times my salary, but just like not be fulfilled or be stressed all the time or be exhausted. So yeah, I do dabble in it sometimes. when I want to.
Okay. I see. I see. I see. And when you do dabble, is it also like passion projects or? Oh, okay, I see.
Yeah, it's a mix. So the feature film that I did and the what do you call it? The video mapping project is part of my job at UJ. But I've done short films. You know what I mean? That I
Yeah.
wanted to produce independently. I have a lot of the stuff that I've done has been passion projects. I mean, I've done a few things for the national broadcaster, which were really, really, really incredibly stressful. They all started as a passion project, but once you get into production, it just became hectic.
I got you.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. And this video mapping, are you also a part of designing the set for it?
Yes, I am the set designer.
Ah, nice, nice.
It's a very simple set. We've got like a walking pad for him to like, be standing in one space but still moving as like the videos kind of move like past him. It's also the first time I'm producing and designing a video mapping project. So I won't lie, it's really scary. It is scary to kind of do new things, but it's exciting because it's new and it's a challenge.
Hmm, hmm. Sounds very interesting. If like people want to see it, like, is this something that people will be able to see online or see on television?
I'll
How?
let you know. We'll obviously be doing it live. We'll have a run of it at the end of May. Probably, I'm not sure if we're going to even invite audiences to that, but we're going to premiere it at the Free State Arts Festival in July.
Hmm.
And then next year, we want to bring it back and do the full scale production. And maybe we will shoot it so that we can share it
Yeah, yeah, that'll be great.
beyond the country.
Yeah, that'll be awesome. That'll be awesome. Yeah, I actually miss like all of the awesome festivals and
Aren't there
production.
festivals in Taiwan?
There's actually an Afro festival coming out in May, so
Nice.
I'm excited about that. But I've actually been a little bit too busy with students.
Okay.
Like even on the weekends, like I don't really have that much time to check things out. But yeah, they probably are.
What are you
Yeah,
teaching?
I'm teaching English. I'm teaching, yeah,
I heard you
and
saying you've got rehearsals, so do you also do theater?
it's funny. This week, I actually went for an audition, um, and this guy wants me to play the protagonist in the story. It's a really short production.
Well
Um,
done, though.
thank you, thank you.
I know
Um,
how tough it is to be a creative artist. You need to scratch that itch.
yeah, yeah. I actually I haven't performed in a while, so I'm actually quite excited about it. And yeah, it's a very new thing for me to perform with. It's only a three cast production, so yeah, let's see what happens. Yeah, we only have 3 days of rehearsal, so it's interesting. It's a new experience. Yeah.
It sounds exciting.
Yeah, I can't wait to see because like the other I looked in the group and it seems like the other girl might be from South Africa as well. So
Oh,
it's gonna be interesting to see. Yeah. Yeah.
nice.
And for my students, they love creative industries, some of them. Some of them like one from China, she actually is very good at writing and she loves that world. And so I've come across like many students over the years where they want to get independent, and they want to learn about different industries, but they're not sure if they can start. Do you think it's viable for kids to learn about theater or set design at a young age? Do they need to go to university before they can we speed up the process? That's essentially what I'm trying to get to.
I mean, I think that it's such a huge missed opportunity that children are not kind of exposed to the arts sooner. It's kind of the kids who are in the privileged schools and in the suburban schools who get to do kind of drama and art and all of these things at school. But actually, I feel like all children should have access to it. And for various reasons, because we know as artists that that our crafts filter into other industries. If you're a lawyer and you go for if you're a lawyer who works in court, for example, and you go for like kind of a drama class, do you know what I mean? Just to help you public speak, to present yourself better. There's a lot of industries, you know what I mean? Like if you are trained in drama, there's a lot of places where you can go where you can use those skills if you're going to advertising, or if you're going to any kind of industry where you have to present ideas or present things. It helps to have had an acting class or two, to know how to present essentially. So I really really wish that more children had access to the arts from an early age, because I do think that it does kind of harness other talents, and it kind of brings other things out of students that are not necessarily art or art related, but it just improves, it helps them improve in whatever industry that they're in. They can, whatever you learn in our industry, you can apply in other industries.
That's so true. And I feel like one of the big things is self-esteem. I feel like arts is a great self-esteem builder, which
Yes,
I
definitely.
I would say a lot of people, even adults, still suffer from, low self-esteem. And so for students who want to maybe get involved in set design, what could an actionable duty or an actionable task be?
So I've just started teaching at the Dumandlovu Academy. Started teaching art direction. And I think that like a college like that is amazing because you don't necessarily have to do a whole undergrad or pay like university fees to get access to education about production design and film production in general. So there are kind of institutions where you can learn. I also teach at a program at the Market Theatre called Ditsumo, where we
Hmm,
teach grade 11 and 12 students different parts of production.
that's cool.
So it's not, I must be honest, it's not easy to kind of get training in production design. Usually it's like embedded in a course, like you have to do an undergrad at like a wits to get those skills. But slowly it's starting to become accessible. Workshops are starting, to pop up, and I'm just hoping that as time goes, it will be more accessible to everyone.
Yeah, I think that's so important. I'm so happy that young stunners are actually getting to learn from you because you're so experienced, and who better to learn from? Someone
Thank
who's
you.
actually done it and is currently doing it. Because a lot of the times we learn from people who have done it but are not doing it anymore, or
Yeah.
sometimes who have read about it or have studied it and just never done it at
Yes,
all.
but not done it. Mm.
Yeah. So I think you're the perfect example for someone who's passionate and wants to learn from someone in the real world, not a textbook professional.
Mm. Mm.
So yeah, well done for that. And so if people want to actually go and apply for this program, how can they do that?
So it's called the Dumandlovu Academy. They're actually
Okay.
open for registration right now.
Mm.
You can catch them on their social media pages or on the Dumandlovu Academy website. And yeah, that's where people can access it.
Okay, cool, cool, cool. Yeah, I think I should get this out as soon as possible because I want the kids to be able to actually apply before while it's still hot.
You should.
Do you know how long this application process is going to be?
Oh, I'm not sure. I'm not sure. I
Okay.
think it'd probably be for during the course of April because April is like orientation month and they're trying to kind of build the numbers. So I'm pretty actually I'm not pretty sure, but I'm sure soon the applications will close soon because we
Okay.
start teaching in May.
I see, I see. So now, once you're done with the course, will these students be able to go back home or go to wherever and start actually creating set designs and so forth.
Yes, the idea
Ooh,
is
that's
to kind of teach them and equip them with skills so that they can start working on sets. The nice thing about the Dumandlova Academy is that there is it's connected to Word of Mouth Productions, which is owned by Ndate Duma, and they've got like a few running productions. Do you know what I mean? So these students, it's not just them sitting in class listening to lessons. They will be going on set to kind of get the experience of being on set, and hopefully when they're done with this course, they'll be able to kind of infiltrate the industry and get jobs with the skills that they've acquired.
That's so cool. That's so cool because one of the things that my students are like crying about is that they wanna be able to pay for their own things. Like they want to be able to buy their own clothes. Yeah, it's cool to have mommy and daddy every now and then, but they want to be able to say, yeah, I'm just gonna go and buy my mom a t-shirt because I can, so instead of borrowing. And I love that they'll be able to actually use a skill and be productive in the real world and actually generate income. And you're a mother, and so I'm curious, as a mom, do you sort of or teach your kids, or not, maybe not teach, but encourage your kids to think about their career while they're still young, and maybe go for training?
These kids are still very young.
Okay.
They're all under 10. And
Okay.
so obviously it changes. Like one day a person wants to be a doctor, then I want to be a paleontologist, then I want to be an artist like my mom. You know what I mean? But I feel like once
Good.
they're older and they like get to high school, then we can start having serious conversations about what they want to do and maybe even explore some of these industries that they want to get into. But they're still very much in the dreamy phase. And I wouldn't want to restrict them in any way. I don't expect a 7 year old to know what they want to do, but like what we do is we expose them to as much as possible so they have exposure from the media and TV and the internet to different types of careers, so they're aware of like a lot of different options. But I think once they become teens, then we can start having deeper conversations about what it is that they're passionate about and what it is they want to do.
That makes sense. That makes sense. Yo, no, Karabo, thank you so much. I really appreciate everything that you've shared with me and the time that we've spent. And I was just wondering, like, for people who want to sort of maybe follow you or maybe, get to collaborate with you, is that a possibility? And if so, how can they reach you?
So I'm on social media. I'm on Facebook and I'm on Instagram. On Instagram, I'm the artist underscore Karabo and Karabo Lukhwabe on Facebook. So people can reach out to me on social media if they want me to design something for them or they want to collaborate on a thing. My email address is theartistkl@gmail.com. So anyone who's not on social media can always pop me an email. But yeah, I'm always keen to work and always, you know what I mean, and to explore new things and to like kind of make more connections in the industry.
That's so cool. That's so cool. Thank you so much, Karabo. I want you to, continue with your life, and I just want to say thank you. I really appreciate,
Thank you
you,
so much,
your
Chris.
time. It's been
Thank you so
wonderful. I
much, and
really
thank you
enjoyed
for
it.
thinking of me.
Yeah, thank you for agreeing. Thank you. I'm so happy that you agreed.
For sure. And all of the best with your production.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate it.
All
All
right.
right. I'll see you again, Karabo.
Cool. Good
All right.
night.
Good night. Bye bye.
Bye.
So, guys, that was Karabo. And guys, I told you by God's grace, we have the best, high quality, highly experienced, deep in the flow people on the show. It's unbelievable. Sometimes I have to actually just, wake myself up and say, wow, this is actually this is real life. I know these people somehow. It's unreal. High caliber individuals, not like, people who are trying, people who are doing it. And so, I just feel so blessed to know such amazing people. Guys, Garabo is doing big things. Look, she's winning awards. She's not. you know, having people wonder if they should get her involved. She's winning awards. And I'm really not surprised. I'm really not surprised. She's always been that kind of individual from the time that I met her in university, and even the little bit of interaction that I had, um, you know, when she graduated. And so, guys, please, if you want to work with her, look, she's willing to explore. That's not something that you actually hear from people who have like high responsibility, because people get set in their ways, and people don't actually have time for, respectfully so, people don't have time to sort of engage in new ideas and take risks, but she's continuing to do so. And that's why I really appreciate knowing her, and actually having her on the show. So great that people are remaining fresh, so easy to get comfortable, and just go with the herd. So the creative people are keeping us alive, guys, I'm telling you. And I can't wait to see her video mapping if we get the chance, and to hear that she has won. I'm rooting for her. If I can vote, I'd put in my vote. Hey guys, if it's a voting session, you gotta vote for Karabo. I'm telling you. I've seen her sets. I'm blessed, guys. I'm super blessed. So we will stay. We will keep bringing you the best of the best, guys. The best of the best. Nothing less. No one, second tier, third tier. We just bring you the best, and stay tuned for more. Thank you for being present. Enjoy the rest of your day or evening, morning. Bye bye.